Hey guys, it's Jean-Claude. Today's deck is a little bit special. It's going to our first $25 patron of the month, Rick Fulford. And for those of you that are patrons that are wanting to know when we're going to be opening up the two decks based upon the $2 plus and $5 plus levels, that's going to be on Friday the 7th. We'll probably do those all in just one video. Alright, well, good luck, Rick. This is going to be your deck. Okay. What houses do you think you're going to get? I don't know. I don't know enough about this set to know what is good or bad. So, oh, wait, let's not show that. Let's go this way. Okay, I haven't seen Untamed yet. Untamed, Logos, and Brobnar, Butcher, Goodkind. All right, Rick, good luck. Starting off with Punctuated Equilibrium. Play. Each player discards their hand, then refills their hand as if it were the end of their turn. Nice. Grasping Vines. One amber whenever you play it. Return up to 3 artifacts to their owner's hand. Always good to see artifact control. Fog Bank. One amber whenever you play it. Your opponent cannot use creatures to fight during the next turn. Flaxia. Excellent card. 4 power. Gain 2 amber if you control more creatures than your opponent. Bumblebird, 1 power alpha. Play, put 2 +1 power counters on each other friendly untamed creature. Well, I hope you get some good untamed creatures in here. They're everywhere. 1 amber whenever you play it. Deal 2 damage to each enemy flank creature. Deal 1 damage to each enemy creature not on the flank. So good if you get Save the Pack. Tantaldin. That is a weird name. 9 power. He only deals 2 damage when fighting. Fight. Discard a random card from your opponent's archives. Huh, that's a very neat effect. Raygrowth, amber whenever you play it. Return a creature from your discard pile to your hand. Marmo Swarm, 2 power. Gets +1 power for each amber in your pool. Okay, that's a weird effect. Oh, and you have 2 of those. Dusk Witch, 1 power Omega, so it's the last card you can play on your turn. Elusive, your creature's interplay ready. Man, it's going to be hard to stick her on the board, but that's really neat. Oh, and you have 2 of her. The Curator. This is a rare. 3 power, friendly artifacts, interplay ready. Okay. Yeah, we didn't have an artifact, right? Nope, just a way to deal with artifacts in Untamed. So hopefully you get some good artifacts that you can pair with this guy. Rocket Boots. Upgrade. This creature gains Fight Reap. If this was the first time this creature was used this turn, you get to ready it. This card can be super abusive depending what you find. Memory Chip. It's an artifact. Oh, but it's not one you can use with Curator because it doesn't matter if it's display ready or not. That's a shame. After you choose Logos as your active house, archive a card. Brain Eater, 6 power. After a creature's destroyed fighting Brain Eater, you get to draw a card. I've always liked him. Wild Wormhole, amber whenever you play it. Play the top card of your deck. Awesome. Titan Librarian, 4 power. At the end of your turn, if Titan Librarian is not on a flank, you archive a card. Okay, that's pretty nice for setting up some future turns. Standardized Testing. Play, destroy each creature with the lowest power and each creature with the highest power. I actually got to play with this the other day, and I will tell you my thoughts at the end of the video. This is kind of an interesting card in my opinion. And you have 2 of those. Okay, you will like what I have to tell you about that. Pip, 2 power. After an enemy creature reaps, you get to stun it. Igor, 2 power. Play. Look at the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 to your hand, and discard the others. Love this guy. Wow, you have 2 of them. Awesome. Archimedes, 2 power. Elusive. Each of his neighbors gains destroyed. Archive this creature. Okay, that's a neat effect. Oh, and now we're on to Brobnar, the Flex. Play, choose a ready, friendly Brobnar creature, exhaust it, and gain amber equal to half its power, rounding down the gain. Oh, I really hope you get Lollop, that huge 11 power giant. What a perfect card to pair with this guy, right? Grump Buggy. It's an artifact. Amber whenever you play it. Your opponent's keys cost +1 amber for each friendly creature with power 5 or higher. Your keys cost +1 amber for each enemy creature with power 5 or higher. I just noticed it's another artifact, but it doesn't work with the Curator. Ugh, that's awful, right? Because it doesn't matter if it's display ready, the effect is already happening. Oh, God. Alright, let's hope you get like a Gauntlet of Command or something in here. It would probably have to be one of the next cards, though, because Gauntlet of Command isn't uncommon. Gargantia Scrapper, 3 power alpha, so it's the first thing you have to do in your turn. Play. If you have 3 or more amber, deal 3 damage to an enemy creature. I actually got to play with this guy. My first impressions was he was horrible. I still don't think he's that great, but I was able to use him in every game that I played this guy in a sealed tournament, so it's actually not that bad of an effect. Tremor. Stun a creature and each of its neighbors. I love stun effects, so that's good. Groke, 5 power. Fight. Your opponent loses 1 amber. Okay, not bad. You have 2 of those. Groggins. Oh, 8 power. That guy works with the flex. So that's 4 amber if you use it with him. When Groggins is used to fight, it can only attack flank creatures. Ganger Chieftain, 5 power. Play. You may radiant fight with a neighboring creature. Love that guy. Oh, and you have 2 of them. Oh, I hope you get Drummernaut. I don't know if he shows up before or after this guy, but let's hope you get one. Fuslie, 5 power. Reap. If an enemy creature has been destroyed this turn, gain an amber. I like that effect quite a bit. Oh, no, we have 1 more card after this. Thought this was the last one. First Blood. Amber whenever you play it has alpha. Deal 2 damage for each friendly Brobnar creature. You may divide this damage among any number of creatures. Huh. That is actually pretty cool. You gotta factor that there's great odds if you play Brobnar the turn before that those creatures are gonna stay on the board because they're very hard to deal with. You're gonna at least have a couple of them if they deal with 1 or 2. So I think that this is a really neat effect. Your opponent's gonna call whatever house. You're gonna be able to kill... Yeah, because it's... Yeah, you divide any number of creatures. Wow. So if you get 8, you could divide it 5 and 3. It's not like you have to do lots of 2 to actually take out a creature, each time. That's actually a really neat effect. I like that. That's a cool card. Ah, and you have another one. Okay, I think that's really good. You had a decent amount of Brobnar creatures in here. What do you have, like 6, 7 maybe? All right, let's kind of go back through this deck. First off, actually, even before I go through that, the Curator. What an awful card in here. Why? Why are you in here? All right, let's check out your Amber first. I don't remember seeing too much. Let's put the Amber up, then we'll do the creatures, just like we've had to do the last couple of videos. That's definitely Amber. Let's see here. Oh yeah, Wild Wormhole, that was awesome. Ooh, wow, only 1 Logos card that created Amber? Oh, I don't know how I feel about that. Let's see, Regrowth, yeah. They're Everywhere is a pretty nice card. I've noticed there's a lot more 1 power creatures in the set, or at least it feels like there is, so maybe they put more in the common slot. So this card's quite a bit better. Yeah, there's obviously another one. Let's see. Flaxia, that can get you some Amber. Fog Bank, Grasping Vines. Alright, so let's count up the Amber here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to call this at least 2. So 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, 12 is pretty low. Yeah, 12 is kind of low. Especially considering this Grunt Buggy is going to make your keys cost more, because I'm sure they're going to have some. I mean, you have quite a bit of 5 or more power creatures in here. Let's see. Let's kind of sort out the creatures real quick. Let's see. Let's grab Flaxia. Okay. We're going to see how many 5 or more power creatures you have, just to see how good that Grunt Buggy might be for you. Obviously, your Logos, you only had maybe... Oh, yeah, okay. Let's say you only had 1 Brain Eater. Oof. I mean, I guess it's pretty good for Logos. But how many did he have in Untamed? Oh, well, okay, that guy's real big and beefy for it, so that's not too bad. Alright, let's see here. So you have a 9. You know what? I guess this Marmo Swarm, if you're going to have a lot of Amber because maybe it's harder to forge keys because of Grunt Buggy, where'd that card go? It should be right, yeah. Maybe he actually gets bigger, so he's another one. I guess we'll count him. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, 10 is actually pretty good in my opinion. My last deck that had Grunt Buggy only had 7, and I thought 7 was at least acceptable, so 10 is a really good number to have with that. The real question is, what are you going to do with this deck? I mean, you can't expect effects like this to last. Obviously, they're great if they do. The Curator can almost just get out of here. Let's see, Titan Librarian, he had such light Amber inside of Logos. You know what? You know, it's actually kind of cool looking at these guys. I think your deck does something really well. Let me kind of, I'm going to set these guys up here. Let me look at something. Like, you do have a weird strategy here. I don't know if it actually works, but I don't know. It's kind of just a thought I had. Let's throw that down too, because that's going to be part of it. That Grunt Buggy is kind of important to what I'm thinking here. Let's see. This might sound crazy. Oh, you know what? I said I was going to get back this card. I'll do it as soon as I sort these out, and then I'll tell you what I'm thinking. And then that would go. Okay, so real quick, standardized testing. Here are my thoughts on this card. I think this is a fantastic card if you're going to call Logos and you're the player that's going second. So if this is in your starting hand, there are great odds your opponent's going to play a creature, right? You play this, no matter what creature it is, it gets rid of it. And then you can play out whatever you want, right? You just play out all these Logos creatures, because Logos seems to have a lot more creatures now in this set. So I think this is a great first turn play if you're going second. And let's say this is in your first hand and you're actually going first. Don't play a creature. Play an artifact. Play an action. Do something else. Then after your opponent plays their creatures, on your second turn, play standardized testing, essentially wipe their board, or most of it, and then lay down your creatures. I think this is actually a really good card, at least early game. Late game, it's questionable. You might find yourself discarding it, but I do like this card quite a bit now that I've played with it. So let me actually talk a little bit about what I'm thinking here. Let me look at this again. So this card helps you get through your deck faster. This card does it as well because archiving will help you draw future cards. So you get rid of a card you don't necessarily want in your deck. I'm kind of thinking here, this one maybe. This is the only questionable one. But here's how I'm looking at this deck, and these help you cycle through your deck pretty quick too. Okay, so here's my thought. We know, at least in my opinion, this is just first thoughts, right? I think this is the most important card of your deck. Okay, like I don't think you necessarily have to mulligan for it, but you do want it, and you want it pretty early. A lot of times, if it's at the bottom of your deck, and this is an important card in your deck, you're not going to get to it. It's going to be a real hard time, right? But I think your deck essentially cycles pretty quick to get to that card. And what I'm thinking about here is, why don't you burn through your deck as fast as you can, right? Maybe archive things like, well, you can keep the Curator maybe. I think your Brobnar is actually really good. And what I'm thinking about is, if you have a deck that pretty much focuses on playing the Brobnar, and then maybe just things that get you Amber, right? And they have good effects as well. I think if you kind of focus on that and you get the other cards out of your deck because of this archiving you have. You got the Titan that can do it. You got that artifact that can do it. You got other ways. Look, this helps you cycle too. Being able to draw a card. Almost every game, this guy draws at least one card. So yeah, I don't know. And then you get all these big power creatures out, right? You can maybe ignore the rest of Logos. I don't know. Well, you have to call Logos to archive the one. But like, always call whatever you have the most of in your hand. Always, never archive a Brobnar card. I think that's important. Never ever archive a Brobnar card. Never archive the big Marmo Swarms. You don't mind archiving Bumblebird or Dusk Witch. Get these cards out of your deck. Make it where you can cycle, because your deck does kind of go fast, right? Make it where it can cycle. Keep some of the bigger effects here. And then I think you have a coherent strategy here, simply because, let's pull all the Brobnar cards up again. I'm going to show you my thoughts. Yeah, you get all these cycling, and you have ways to slow them down as well. I don't know. It's a weird strategy to think of, but if you make it where your deck is mainly Brobnar cards, you could just keep calling House Brobnar. I honestly think that, hold on, pull these up. I think that these two First Bloods, I think these are going to be really good. I think these are going to have a huge effect on the game because you have so many Brobnar creatures. And this Tremor here is excellent. I think you can, this is once again absolutely nuts, but I think you can make your opponent's keys cost a lot of Amber based upon your big creatures. You're going to be able to control the board with these guys, slow your opponent down so much to where you might be able to pull off a win. Because once again, you're going to be able to control their board with these style cards, and you even have the flex to get Amber and generate it more quickly. At least, I said at least getting 2. Every one of these creatures just about will get you 2 Amber, except for Groggins will get you 4, and Gargantues will only get you 1, but you're going to have all these Brobnar creatures out, I'm thinking. And then you also have these guys to help fight too, help control the board. You're getting extra Amber here with Fuslie. I don't know, like, it's weird to think that this Brobnar is the best part of your deck, but I do believe that you have ways to get there. Instead, this Equilibrium, as long as you don't really, like, you play a Brobnar turn first, get a decent amount of Untamed cards in your hand, suddenly you're able to play those Untamed cards. If you have to discard a Witch because it has Omega, you do it. You discard that Witch. Get a whole new hand, dump in all these other cards, suddenly you have 6 new cards in your hand. You then cycle even further because you're hoping to draw some Untamed cards. I mean, I think you can actually go through the deck pretty quick. All these cards are archived into things like either Memory Chip or Titan Librarian. Make sure it's just cards that don't generate amber. Make sure it's, you know, it could be stuff like standardized testing. Get rid of a lot of the logos cards. I guess you can get rid of the curator. Get rid of a lot of those sort of effects. Get rid of the, you know, the bumblebirds, the dusk witches. Yeah, if you make it where your deck is just every single card is gas or falls in line with this Brobnar plan, I don't know. I think it's something. It could be something. I'm very interested to hear back what this deck does for you. It feels really weak, but I do feel like it does have a game plan. It's a weird one. That's why it's going to be really hard to rate this. As a matter of fact, I already said in the last couple videos, I don't think I should be rating these decks until it's been at least a week. So I would really hate to rate this deck, especially whenever I think its game plan is something I've never seen before. I mean, there's plenty of decks that just rely on like one card and you try and abuse it, but I don't know, this one's just different. It's different to me. Alright guys, well thank you very much for watching my videos, and Rick, I hope this works out for you. I will see you next time.